Franchising is the most misunderstood and most overlooked form of entrepreneurship. We're here to educate you and help you find the entrepreneur within. Franchising is not all about the French fries.
We find that individuals who are exploring business ownership tend to have a lot of misperceptions and misunderstandings about the franchise industry. So what we want to do is help prospective business owners make confident and educated decisions before moving forward or not moving forward with a business. Welcome to Unpredicted Entrepreneur.
Hello, and welcome to episode 82 of Unpredicted Entrepreneur. My name is Sarah Wasco, and I'm joined by my colleague, Roxanne Rapsky. And we created this podcast to bring you information related to franchising and business ownership. And we have so much fun inviting our clients to join us and share their experiences about franchise ownership. So today, I would like to welcome Christian Garza. Christian is the owner with his wife, Yasmin, of Donut Envy of Arlington and Grand Prairie. So welcome to Unpredicted Entrepreneur, Christian.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. It's a beautiful day today.
Absolutely. We are thrilled for you to be here. So your story really resonated with me for a couple of reasons, one of which was really just your why. You already own a construction company, which you had owned for how long?
5 years.
You've owned it for 5 years.
Going on 6.
So perfect. So we met because you had decided that you wanted another business and you had gone to the Small Business Development Center. Small Business Development Center, for our listeners, is a division of the SBA that helps business owners and potential business owners in challenges that they might be facing, and their services are free. So I just want to give a shout out to the Tarrant SBDC specifically, and Christian, my friend, Cynthia Harnest, who connected us. So tell us a little bit about what prompted you to go in there and talk to them about potentially owning a business.
Well, my wife and I she's been helping me out on the construction side, and she wanted to go out and work in the food industry, which she has all that experience in. And just fumbling ideas with her, I said, well, let's just look at franchising opportunities. Maybe we can get a restaurant to where we can all work together as a family. So she was open to it. We know very little about the franchise life, so we decided to just seek some advice on it.
Perfect. So you went in there, and because we have a partnership with the Small Business Development Center, we work with them on a national level. Cynthia referred you to me, and then we kind of started the process of trying to help you find the right fit. You mentioned you were specifically interested in food because Yasmin, your wife, had a background in that. She had worked in the food industry previously. And you also mentioned something that you guys could do as a family. So that was a top priority for you.
So we were going against the brick and mortar. We wanted something that we can kind of go out and about and get together on a weekend or evening to bring in the entire family. So we decided, since on the construction side, I drive trailers, why not go into a mobile food truck or food trailer to go out there and provide the service.
Was a food truck initially on your mind, though?
No.
Okay. So
my wife's mind, yes.
Okay.
Not my mind.
Because food trucks are kind of, we're seeing a lot more food trucks these days, right? So
Yes.
I think a lot more people are aware and think that's a great idea, and it's way less expensive than being committed to brick and mortar. So you guys had she had kind of tossed that idea around.
She tossed it, but we didn't really know anything about the food truck permits, inspections, city ordinances. We didn't know any of that. So we had just mentioned it, but that was about it.
So I remember when y'all came and or we initially spoke and kind of talked about our process. I shared with you, hey, we don't have a lot of restaurants or we don't work with a lot of food concepts, but we do have a few, so we can certainly look at those and then potentially something else. So you looked into a couple other brands outside of Donut Envy, but Donut Envy just kind of caught your attention. I was sharing with you before we started the podcast that we actually had another guest on a previous episode that owns a different territory of Donut Envy. So tell us what it was about this particular brand that kind of caught your attention that you felt like could help you guys meet your goals.
what got us to sign on board 100% is just the family oriented process it has. It's very family friendly. The majority of the franchisees, I would say at least 90% of them, are either husband and wife with kids, grandfather, grandmother, and grandkids. So that's what really attracted us to it. And we wanted to do it with our family. We have 3 kids, 16-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 6-year-old.
I love that the 6-year-old is involved in the business.
Tell us, I love that each one has their own role.
Yeah.
Tell us about how you've gotten your kids involved in the business.
All 3 of them have worked with me on the construction side. My littlest one, my 6-year-old, he's always helped me unload all the material and load the material into my trucks or our trailers. He's always going out there to measure stuff. So now we changed it from the construction over to the donuts. So what does he do in the donuts? He's very familiar with trailers. When we get there to hitch the trailer, he already knows exactly how to hitch it, how to take the chocks off from the tires, how to make sure everything's in place. Cool. When we get to the event, he's helping me undo the stabilizers on the trailer. He helped me unhitch it. He's helping me put the flags on the floor with a hammer to make sure it stays still. I mean, he's doing all that. The 6-year-old.
And he's in first grade.
He is in first grade.
Okay.
Amazing.
It's so amazing.
So
He's
cute.
learning so much at a young age. And then your other kids both have an assignment as well.
My 10-year-old, he is actually running the window and just learning how to use the point of sale with upselling. He is strong on upselling. He never forgets to charge. And when I ask him, hey, give that person a discount, just a family or friend discount. Are you sure? Are you sure? Yes. He wants to make sure they get a discount, and he wants to know why, because when he sees them back, he's going to give them that same discount later.
That's wonderful. But you can teach him about value and how to take care of customers and things like that through the process. And then your 16-year-old, those 2 are boys, and your 16-year-old is a daughter, right?
So my 10-year-old, he also helps out with setting up of the trailer.
Okay.
So they're cross-trained. My daughter she doesn't know how to set up the trailer. She's learning how to hitch it. But her role mainly is working the window, and she's going to learn the donuts. Because right now, Mama's making the donuts.
Okay. And she's like the donut czar, right?
She's a donut queen. Yes. Yeah. That's how she's known for.
The donut queen.
Yasmin, your wife?
Yasmin is
okay,
known
she's
as
the donut
queen.
queen. Okay, good. Now, another thing that I thought was very cool, you wanted a business to get your children involved, and then you mentioned that Yasmin had helped you in the construction business, and I love that you were diversifying here. I mean, 2 completely different businesses, but you wanted her to have more of a role of leadership in this business.
Yes.
English is not her first language. Her family immigrated here. And so you were wanting to kind of use this as an opportunity to give her some confidence. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
And independence as well.
Yes.
So tell us more about that.
So right now, she's in training. We have her training on how to hitch and unhitch a trailer, how to drive a trailer, and especially how to back up with a trailer. It's not what she likes, but she's learning everything. She starts scheduling folks on the, who's going to work the window, who's going to, be prepping the batter, how are we going to go out there and sell, which events we get together. Since I'm doing the selling right now, she's helping me out learning small things about the selling portion. Whenever we come across an event, we discuss it to see if it's, does she want to do it, proceed with it, or does she just want to let it go?
So let's talk about that a little bit more, because you shared that with us on the phone, and that's a little bit challenging. You've been working several events. You are trying to discern which ones you feel are the most value for your business. And so talk through that a little bit, some of the opportunities that you've had and some of the thought process you've gone through to make some of those decisions.
Having very little experience in it, we've had a lot of help. I have to say thanks to James Crawford from Donut Envy Midlothian. He's been very helpful in kind of guiding us into what to look for, what not to look for on these events. What we've learned is when people give you a head count, it's not necessarily mean there's going to be 13,000 people there. How many years has that event been out? Is it the first time? Is it the 12th time? And how do they keep that head count? Is it just a clicker, or is it just someone goes out there and kind of says, it looks about 10,000?
Right.
Yeah. So it's
So we have
Not
to ask
necessarily
questions.
100. Okay.
Correct.
Good.
So we go out there and we ask the questions. And then if they say it's, 3,000 people, exactly 3,000, it's been going on for it's like the 6th or 7th year that it's been out there. They know their numbers. They know 7,000 people turn out. Not all 7,000 are going to go out and eat a sweets.
Right.
So you have to put a percentage off of that. Maybe 20%, maybe 30% will go out there and eat the sweets. And it depends on the time of the day. If it's between, 11 and 1, they're more than likely going to go to a savory truck over a sweets truck.
Okay.
If it's between 3 and 5 or 2 and 4, they'll probably go out looking for some sweets.
Okay.
Interesting.
So that's very interesting.
Yeah.
So how did you said your neighboring franchisee in Midlothian had kind of helped you with this? Did the franchisor give you some guidance on that too, or has that mostly just been between you franchisees?
They've given us, they give us a full week of training out in Orlando, but it's a week of training, 8 to 5. They can only train you so much. Everything
Right.
is just learned out in the trenches. You just
Right.
got to learn that out in the field.
It's like drinking through a fire hose when you're in training, basically, right?
Yes.
And then then it's trial by fire when
then
you
it's
get back to your
trial by fire.
territory.
That's right. It's, you can only make the batter so well with them. Here, you're actually doing it last minute. And, if you run out of batter, you got to hurry up and make some more.
Yeah.
So one very exciting thing was the first day of school. You had an opportunity to be at Martin High School in Arlington with your truck and serve donuts to the students that were there at what time was it? 7 a.m.
We were out there at 4 in the morning.
I know you were out there at 4 in the morning.
4 in the morning. We
Sugaring
stationed.
up these high school kids on their first day of school.
They would not let us sugar them up that early. They wanted to get done with them before we sugared them up so that we could
Okay.
send them off to school. So the reporters were like, "Don't give them so much sugar. Wait till
That's
they
funny.
get done with the episodes. Then you could give them all the sugar you want, all the donuts you want."
Cool.
So how did you get that opportunity to be out there?
We got an email for the reporter from CBS News 11.
Wow.
Okay.
And when I reached out to her saying, "Yeah, we're something we're interested in. We can donate some donuts for you guys." We didn't know how many. She didn't know how many. She just started counting students. We have the band, orchestra, the cheerleaders, the dance team. So she just tallied up some numbers. She said maybe 300. Okay. When I told her I was happy to do it because Martin High School, that's where my daughter goes. She's like, "Oh, what year is she?" She's in the 11th grade, and she's part of the swim and dive team. So I was happy to go ahead and be there for back to school first day. From there, one thing led to another. She started asking questions in regards to what other events have we done? We're like, well, we've actually, every Saturday we park at the YMCA in Grand Prairie to sell our donuts. Oh, that's a good story to have. So one thing led to another, and she's like, let me go ahead and give you guys, an interview. We put you guys on TV. I was thinking it was a 5-minute, 30-second, 60-second kind of, it came out being a whole segment.
Wow. Wow.
That's so amazing.
That's
so
exciting.
one thing that I'm intrigued with, you said you got an email from them. Like, how did they know about you to email you? Do you think the brand recognition from other donut envies, or what do you think?
From
Okay.
someone else. I believe it was Alito, that they'd probably tried some donuts from the Alito franchise. And since I run the Grand Prairie Arlington territory, they forward our information over to them.
Wow.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. Getting news coverage that early on.
Yeah, because you started in June and this was August.
I would say I started practically July because it was June 25th when we started.
Okay.
Wow.
It's June 25th when you started, and here we are. It was like the second week of August when school was starting. And here you are at a big event. Obviously, you weren't making any money because these were students, right? But you had to make that decision as an opportunity for you to get your brand out there and market your business.
We're strong believers that, and myself and the other franchisees, that it takes a village. So I could be Donut Envy Arlington Grand Prairie. I just promote Donut Envy. Everyone gets a piece of it, whether, I'm promoting to you ladies. You ladies can live out of Midlothian and Alito. Those are the individuals that are going to get your business. So my goal is just to market Donut Envy. And if you come to my territory, make the sale.
But you know what? I love that because you had already shared how helpful the Midlothian owner was for you. And I really hear you saying that, what goes around comes around. So if everybody's out there focused on building a brand, then everybody can win from that.
Correct. The more people know and hear of Donut Envy and try our delicious donuts, they're going to find us they're driving down the street, they'll see a Donut Envy trailer, they're going to stop there and get their order.
I hear the lemonade's pretty terrific too.
Freshly squeezed.
That's Yasmin's favorite part, right? Is the lemonade?
Yes.
Yes.
With the mango flavor in there.
Oh, okay.
I think she gets mango and peach, and she kind of changes it up on me every time, but she loves mango in there.
Okay, so you have obviously multiple flavors of lemonade and coffee
7.
too, right?
We got the Envious coffee as well.
Envious coffee and 7
Iced
flavors
coffee.
of lemonade.
Correct.
And then the donuts are smaller donuts and
Just a mini-sized donuts. We've gotten surveys from individuals that have purchased them from our consumers. They've mentioned that it tastes like a small portion of a funnel cake.
Oh, okay.
So instead of having the whole funnel cake, you're getting little bitty pieces of funnel cake with toppings on it.
Oh, it's a bucket of. Are there different sizes?
There's different sizes.
Okay.
So you get a small bag, comes usually 6 to 8.
Okay.
A large, you get 12 to 14, and you can split it up into 2 toppings. The small bag, you only get the 1 topping.
Okay.
But then you get the boxes that look very nice, presentable. That's mainly for like the entire office out here. Never makes it home. I know the buckets, a lot of the men that have stopped by, they've ordered buckets for their family. And when I speak to their wife that shows up at an Envy trailer later, they're like, my husband never brought that. That bucket made it home empty.
Well, sitting in traffic.
That's funny.
When they say that, I just start thinking
That would be my husband.
when I was a kid with the McDonald's fries, just eating them while we got home.
Oh, yeah. Man, that was a small package of fries or a small order of fries they gave us.
That's
What happened
right.
to them?
That's right.
I love it. I love it. So you've done Martin High School. You said you're at the YMCA in
Yes, in
Grand Prairie every weekend?
Every Saturday.
Every Saturday.
Unless we're trying to get a contract or just a small verbal okay from Walmart in Grand Prairie.
Oh, nice.
I'm part of the YMCA board in Grand Prairie, and I'm on the executive board for the Grand Prairie Chamber of Commerce.
Wonderful.
So that's
Wow.
helping me get to certain contacts that I didn't have before.
I love too that you already owned this construction company it's not residential, it's all commercial construction.
Industrial warehousing.
So we talked about how you were able to really benefit, and you just shared that, some of your relationships that you'd already built through owning a business in Grand Prairie already and being involved and having these connections with people on the chamber and in the YMCA and, serving your community basically already through this other business worked as a great jumpstart for starting your new business, because those people that already knew you, they already had confidence in your abilities, already trusted you, were ready to jump in and support you.
Yes. And I would say the Grand Prairie Chamber of Commerce has helped me out tremendously.
Plus, you understand the benefit of networking because he's already been a business owner, which is huge. The whole networking piece is huge. And the thing that you don't have in your construction business, which is awesome with Donut Envy, is you have the other franchisees to help you promote Donut Envy. So you've got some extra help building a brand, whereas you've been building a brand all by yourself with your construction company.
Very difficult when you build it by yourself.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why we went the franchise way, because I honestly don't have time to do a whole new business on the donut side or the food side, just because I'm overwhelmed on the construction side.
Yeah, you've
It's
got a lot.
So much.
So
better.
this business is ultimately for Yasmin, right?
It's for Yasmin and for the kids.
And for the kids.
The goal is for us to kind of step away within 5 years. We have 5 years remaining in the franchise, kind of start letting the kids take over. And if we see that they're doing a great job, or, 5 years from today, my little one could like more construction, kind of step away from the Donut Envy side, but my 10-year-old could love it. So if he loves it, he can continue to manage it, operate it.
So they have options.
Yes. I think we also met last night when we were doing an event. We met two sisters. I believe they were 19 and 20 or 18 and 20. Don't quote me on it. But their dad works in construction. He's like, man, all I do is just drive the trailer because my girls can't drive the trailer. So I just drive the trailer and I just move parts back and forth. But we bought the business for them, for their college, so that they can pay their way to college and have some extra money. So what they're doing is they're doing Italian ice. So they put up all these events. Their mom's working on getting them the private events so that they don't do so much vending. So that's been helping them out. So when they tried Donut Envy, they're like, man, I'm going to tell my mom about you guys so that you guys can come with us. And he said,
well, that's smart too.
Yeah, partner up.
Partner
Yeah.
up.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And that's what I try to do. I try to partner up on everything I do. That's also the way I see business. I don't look at competition. I just kind of look at what can we do together to both, there's a lot of work out there in construction. You don't have to beat someone over to win projects. Same thing on the food industry. There's a lot of people out there. You can cater to everyone if you just partner up.
Right. Yeah.
It's very smart. Work with them and not against them.
Correct.
Yeah.
For sure. And one of the things that I still remember you telling me when we first started working together was that you wanted your children to not feel that they had to be dependent on someone else for their income.
Yes. If I could share a little bit of my background, I start off, my parents were immigrants. My brother and I are first generation, and my sister, who's very young, we're first generation Americans. When we were little, my parents were working two jobs, barely making enough for us to put food on our table and keep us warm at night. Didn't get to see them much. They were always working or doing their thing. I grew up kind of with that mentality. I want to be around my kids. I want to make sure that everything, I'm able to protect them, give them stuff that I didn't have. So growing up that way, I figured give the kids, make sure that they're taken care of.
I love it. You've prioritized your family and want to give them the confidence and the knowledge. I mean, to be teaching them about business so young, which is something they'll not learn in school.
Well, I did work for corporate America for like 10 years.
Yes.
I started off as a accountant, senior financial analyst, auditor, working 8 to 5, working 9 to 6, salary based. And I kept seeing everyone else that I would train get certain promotions. I would ask, why can't I get that promotion? They're like, because you're too great. You're training people great. Your training is great. We can't take you from those seats. So I figured, well, then let me learn everything I need to learn and just go out on my own.
You were too good for them to promote you. I mean, I can't, it's unfortunate. It makes sense. I mean, they needed you in that role.
They needed me in that role.
But it's tough when you're trying to advance and provide and, you have goals for yourself.
When you live on a fixed salary, yes. If I just told myself if I wake up every morning, I'm looking for more work and more work and more work, I can set my own salary instead of just sitting there and having someone give me a fixed salary.
Absolutely. Much more control.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to teach my kids. They don't have a fixed salary. When they work, they get paid for what they work for.
Okay.
So
That's awesome.
It is.
It's to grow up that way. They can always go into corporate America and check it out and see what they think, or they can be entrepreneurs and follow in your footsteps, but they have choices. And that's the key, is giving them choices.
Giving them the choices. That's
Yeah.
what we're shooting for. Make sure that they have those choices, that they know that they have those choices.
And I think the confidence too,
Right.
knowing that they've already had all these experiences. So if they did choose to do their own, that they would have the confidence in doing that. I think that's what a lot of people are lacking when they get started, is not knowing how to go about that and if they could be successful. And your kids are right hands-on in the middle of seeing your success.
Right now, I don't want to pick on Donut Envy, but I could use it as an example. Some of those business owners that have those trailers, they have to pay someone to move those trailers because they don't have the experience on moving a trailer.
Mm-hmm.
My kids already have that. They're learning how to move a trailer. They're learning how to hitch it. So they're already a step ahead.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That trailer would intimidate me.
Yeah, it would intimidate me too. You said you're training Yasmin, so that's good. Our other guest damaged his truck the first time he said he pulled it, and he had gotten a new truck, and he already dented it. Remember?
Yeah.
So another thing you said that I thought was interesting that I want you to repeat was that you have to pick and choose your events. Some end up being profitable, some not as much. But you told me that profit wasn't necessarily your first priority.
Correct.
And that you walk away from each event with a positive. You bring back a positive from everything that you've done.
Find the positive in everything that doesn't come out your way. In everything. I've learned that very young. I could sit here and make a plan. God has his plan. My plan might not go according to God's plan. And I could have everything in that day could have gone, could have been on fire. What's the positive? I'm still alive. So that's just how I see things. I'm able to do it again. Reset, go to sleep, wake up the next day. Let's try it over again.
Yeah. And, one thing that I think is really important to think about is, you're at an event that may not have been as profitable as you would have hoped. You never know. Going in, like you said, they try to estimate how many people are going to be there, but they can't guarantee anything. But who maybe that was there, even if it was a smaller crowd, might have learned about Donut Envy that might need a donut truck at another event, maybe a wedding or a corporate event or whatever. So you just never know who down the road could be calling you from that event that you felt at the time might not have been what you had hoped.
That's right. Right now, we're just trying to get everyone to call donutenvy.com. Just book a truck out there and let the system send you whatever territory it needs to go to.
Yeah.
But just getting everyone to talk about Donut Envy.
Yeah.
So social media has not been my strong suit. I always try to stay away from all that attention. And that's what Donut Envy wants you to do. They want you to go.
Yeah. You're posting something every day. Are they doing that for you, or is that something you guys are doing on your own?
That's something Yasmin's taking over. She's taking over that. I think last night they were doing some TikToks and making some dances just to kind of get crowds to see. I'm hardly in any of that kind of stuff. You might see me over there. Send up the trailer. That's my action.
Well, at least there's evidence that you're doing it because somebody else is posting it.
Absolutely. But again, it kind of goes to everybody kind of having their own role and working on what they're good at and teaching your kids.
And that's what I've always told, my entire family, my kids and my wife. Let's just we're a team. Let's just stick with our strong suits and work on our weaknesses.
That's a great attitude.
That is a great attitude. Yeah. So, Christian, you've shared so many thought-provoking ideas about business ownership and why you chose to go this path. If somebody listening to this podcast said, I'm thinking about owning my own business, what tip would you want to offer them?
Be ready to sacrifice your weekends.
I mean, it very well. You have two businesses, and I know you said between both of them, sometimes they are, especially something that's doing events, would mostly be weekends. I can see that.
I used to plan all my activities around the weekends or at nights. Mm-hmm. I don't have that anymore. It's just, as you can tell, I haven't been to the gym much.
Eating donuts and not going to the gym.
Thank God you're doing all that physical work and hooking up all those trailers and moving.
So it's, everything used to revolve around the weekends.
But one thing to think about, obviously right now you don't want to turn much down because you're trying to get your business launched, but doing a business that's not going to be brick and mortar and dependent on storefront hours, you can choose not to do something if you don't want to, or if your son has a soccer game, or if you have something else going on, you can make a decision as to whether or not you think it's worth your time, investment of your time.
That's what we try to. Yeah. We try not to turn anyone down.
Yeah. Especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
Of course.
When you're building. But the cool thing is that your family's involved. So it's not pulling you away from your family. So you guys are all working together. Someone might have to go to a game and go in a different direction. But the fact that you guys are all doing this together, whereas in the corporate life, if you're on the road traveling, you're just away from your family. You're missing everything. So it's cool that you guys have found something it's cool that you've found a way to bring them into the construction business and that you're doing this together. So So you're still busy and working a lot, but you're doing it together, which is
Correct.
And teaching your kids
Yeah.
a lot.
And there's been a couple of times, like I said, Yasmin is learning how to drive this trailer. Pretty soon, she's not going to need me to drive that trailer. She'll have the kids that can help her drive it and hitch it and get it ready.
yeah.
It's just about
Yeah.
sacrificing that time for them.
Yeah. And as we said, it's the beginning, it's learning curve, and it's all the training that you're offering to the rest of your family to help them be more self-sufficient in the business.
And right now, Yasmin couldn't be here. She actually is trying to close a deal herself, promoting. And hopefully we win this little small catering event. She'll let me know once I get home, I guess.
That's awesome. There's the independence and the confidence, right? She's doing it on her own.
Yeah.
She's been going out and marketing to apartment complexes, just trying to get us out there, see if they're okay with that. And I'm working on the corporate side with Walmart, Sam's, trying to do all that other stuff.
Home Depot is another place that likes to feed people.
You know, that is so true. But lately I keep getting that, we're no longer allowed to do that. We have to work a contract out. And Lowe's has been doing that. But I got people on the inside at Lowe's that are helping me
Good.
get some events out there. And same thing at Walmart. I got some connections out there. And that's kind of what I'm shooting for.
Hey, it takes time. You know, it may not happen overnight.
And usually no just means next opportunity. That's the acronym for it. So
Awesome.
when
I love
hear
that.
No, go to the next opportunity. There's got to be something else out there.
No equals the next opportunity. All right.
It's awesome.
I love it. So speaking of next opportunities, if somebody wants to have a Donut Envy truck at an event or a festival or what have you, how would they go about doing that?
You would go follow us on Instagram or Facebook. Go to Donut Envy. Go to Donut Envy Arlington-GP
Yes.
for our specific Arlington Grand Prairie territories.
Yes.
Or you could just go to donutenvy.com and book a truck. When you start booking a truck, the application pops out. Just fill that information out and it'll send it to the proper territory.
Based on zip code, it'll send it to the right place.
Yes, ma'am.
Gotcha. All right. Well, thank you for joining us today and enlightening us and telling us your story. I know you're busy, so we're grateful to you for coming and sharing with us.
Thank you for having me, and hopefully all this works out. More Donut Envies coming out.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
For those of you listening, thank you so much for joining us. You can follow Sarah and I on LinkedIn. We're very active there. I'm Roxanne Rapske, Rapske. Sarah with no H, Waskow, Waskow. You can also find us on our YouTube channel, Fragnet of Dallas, Fort Worth, and Oklahoma. You can learn more about what we do on fragnet.com. And Unpredicted Entrepreneur is on all of the podcasting platforms.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.